It wouldn't really feel like CES if Samsung didn't unveil a boatload of washers and dryers and refrigerators and all kinds of home appliance stuff. And frankly, we wouldn't cover most of it here on Engadget because, well, they're washers and dryers and refrigerators and things that we generally don't fuss with very much. That said, we did get a chance to take a look at some of Samsung's new appliances, and there are just a couple I want to point out as we head into CES 2021 proper, because they're not just interesting, they are potentially very helpful. First up, let's talk about Samsung's Family Hub refrigerator, which is by itself not a new concept. We have seen Samsung smart fridges with displays and speakers and touchscreens and apps for quite some time now, and we're finally getting to see Samsung pay attention to the software on these guys. Apart from this just being a really nice fridge, Samsung has also redone the UI for its Family Hub interface, which is frankly well overdue. If you looked at any of Samsung's sort of prior attempts at this kind of machine, you would see apps, widgets sort of strewn across multiple home screens. It felt sort of like a disorganized phone, but Samsung, I think in this case rightly, has decided, you know what, let's kind of fix this. Once you start downloading apps for your Samsung smart fridge, we will start to see them kind of populating different home screens that are dedicated to specific tasks. One for meal planning, one for recipes, one for media, so you can have your Pandora and your Spotify cooking playlists ready to go. That's made possible at least in part by the fact that there is a 25-watt speaker under the display itself that's meant in large part to help you, again, sort of groove while you're cooking, but should help you really kind of get through recipes you've never really worked with before, because as one might expect, Samsung Smart Fridge is not just a fridge. It's also a cooking instructor that you can use by way of a Samsung Smart Cooking app that allows you to select recipes and have them sent to the fridge. Once those recipes are in place, you can be guided through them just the way you would be if you were watching a YouTube video or if you had a friendly instructor in your home. There are some limitations to the system. For example, you cannot add your own recipes to this app, which seems a little silly considering just how many recipe cards people generally have floating around, but that's just not in the cards right now. It's a closed ecosystem by Samsung's own admission, but if you've never cooked before and you really just kind of need something to help you get going, and frankly have a lot of money to burn on a really pretty fridge, this might be an interesting way to go. Beyond that, the Family Hub fridge has basically all that you'd expect from a smart fridge. There's an internal camera to let you know what's happening with your food and your perishables whenever you need to without having to open the door. Oh, and not for nothing, but if you really, really wanted to go deep on the Samsung ecosystem and trick out your entire kitchen with Samsung smart connected appliances, there are benefits to doing that. I definitely see the appeal of being able to tell your phone to turn your oven on while you continue your prep elsewhere. Maybe your fridge is telling you how to cook stuff while your oven's going. And look, this is all getting a bit wild. I don't know that this is the future any of us really wanted, but it's here if you want it and can afford it. I also want to take a quick look at Samsung's JetBot 90 AI Plus. That is the full name. It is not a great name, but JetBot, for our intents today, is a really interesting little smart vacuum. Thanks to a LiDAR that sort of emerges and descends back into the body for general navigation and a trio of sensors plus extra cameras, the JetBot is able to identify objects in front of it that can be as small as 5 millimeters. Now that intelligence, as I understand it, is powered in part by some of Samsung's work with Intel. All of that sort of machine learning identification, that visual recognition is all happening on device. The real draw here, though, is you have a intelligent, autonomous vacuum that can sort of putter around your home and make decisions about what to do with what it sees. If it, for example, identifies something quite small and sort of cereal-shaped, that's a pretty clear indication that the JetBot should be able to just plow right through, pick everything up, and get back to work. That said, if it runs into something that is bigger and creamier and perhaps more poop-like, that would be a clear sign that the JetBot should not roll through it, because the last thing you need is poop smeared through your house because of your robot vacuum. Exactly how intelligent this vacuum is kind of remains to be seen, especially because we have not seen it in action. But it does kind of seem like Samsung has really interesting bits cobbled together, in a body that is not for nothing pretty stylish, and ultimately kind of sounds like a great way to approach home cleaning. There's a lot more coming out of Samsung's news and CES 2021 more broadly, so thanks for watching, stay tuned, and we'll show you everything else this virtual weirdo show has to offer.